good morning. This is going to be my first ever video doing my job, so if I have no idea what I'm saying and if I'm chatting rubbish, then I apologise. But yeah, my name's Joel and I've been driving now for about, I'd say just over 3 years. Class 2 work. I haven't got my class 1 licences yet, but I will be, hopefully within the next month or so. I've got it booked, and fingers crossed, as long as I don't mess up like I did last time. That's a story for another day. Fingers crossed, I should be passed and into the world of class 1 work. But we're doing class 2 for now, and today we're in the lovely but absolutely miserable Stoke-on-Trent. That's where my company's based, Reed Freight, and I've been with them for about 2.5-3 months, and I've got to say I absolutely love where I'm working. Really relaxed atmosphere, you know. It's quite a small company, so when you drive with them you're actually valued compared to some larger places where you're really just a statistic, a number, just an employee. You know, they look after you here, which is all a driver ever wants, really, to be, you know, valued and respected in the work that they do, and in turn you're more willing to put yourself out for them sort of people, aren't you? So I've got to say I'm very happy where I am. Regarding what I do, I'm on general haulage with them, but sometimes I work on the local side in Stoke, on TPN, which is basically pallet network. So I'm up and down the country most days, but then some days where I'm on locals I'll be doing multi-drop, about 10 to 15 drops in the local area. But today is not one of those days. It's about 9:45 in the morning and I am off to Holyhead up in Anglesey. So I thought, what perfect opportunity to do my first sort of vlog in the work I do, because I've seen so many trucking vloggers, got to be careful not to swear there, almost, so many vloggers that truck drivers that have channels have really boomed over the past couple of years, talking the likes of, well, I'm a fan of the old school ones that have been doing it for years. So you're talking about your Ned Kelly Islands, your Luke Vernons, your Matt Islands, your Dringies, and your all sorts of guys who I really enjoy watching their content. You know, it's been really informational to me to see how driving's done and all sorts of little things that you need to learn, and those sort of guys that do, you know, they go all over the continent, and though I probably won't be doing that, I still thought it'd be fun to share the travels that I get to do on a daily basis, and, you know, really to get more people's attention to the trucking industry, because there's not nearly enough drivers on the roads as there should be. Not many people seem interested in becoming drivers, and I think there's a lot of negative stigma around the job that, you know, we're horrible people and, you know, we clog up the roads and we're a waste. But I think with everything that's gone on this year with the pandemic and the dreaded C word, that truck drivers, lorry drivers, along with, you know, NHS staff and other members of key work, we're the ones that have kept the country going in terms of making sure, you know, the shops are fully stocked with food, drink, necessities, keeping power going, basically keeping the country going. So I feel that drivers are due a lot more respect than what they get. But I'd want a lot of things in life, and I don't see drivers getting complete respect. I don't think that'll ever happen, but if this channel can help people, just your average people who have no idea about truck driving, see what is involved, then it's served its purpose. So that's the aim of this, really, to start vlogging my journeys a bit more, I haven't got a GoPro yet, but I'm just using my phone at the moment. But the thing is, with this phone that I've got, I've had it for just over a year, Samsung Galaxy S10. It's got a really wide angle lens, so it really, as you can see now, it really feels like you're not zoomed in too much, so it really feels like you're with me on the journey here. So I'm really happy with how it's looking, but I will get myself a GoPro eventually, obviously, because it's going to drain a lot of battery life, etc. So yeah, we are leaving miserable Stoke and gone our way up to the M6 North to head up to Anglesey. Should take about just over 2 hours to get there, all being well, as long as there's no traffic. And yeah, should be quite a nice journey. I've got a friend who lives up in Anglesey. It's a shame I can't see him, but I'm already running a little bit behind, so I think I'll have to save that until another time. But yeah, I hope you all enjoy the video. I'm not going to record it all the way because, you know, it's just going to be a waste, so I'm just going to do it in highlights. So I'm going to record up until I get onto the M6, and probably going to try and do a time lapse of some of the journey on the motorway, and then any sort of fun little sights I see, I'll show you all. But yeah, if I could just sneak on here, that's where I need to be. I suppose. Oh, who's that? I was over the road, wasn't me? I was gonna say, I haven't done anything, leave me alone. Well, yeah, I suppose I should tell you a bit about myself. I'm 27 years old, and you can probably tell by the accent that I'm from the Midlands, West Brom to be exact. And yes, I do support West Bromwich Albion. I have that unfortunate boundary in my life, but at least I can say I support my local team, the team where I was in the area that I was born in. I could take it easy and support Chelsea or support Liverpool, etc., but what would be the point? So yeah, I lived in West Brom most of my life up until last year, where I moved to Stafford, which is about half an hour away from Stoke, Staffordshire area, and that's where I met my wife. We got married last year also, and so I decided to move up to her area as I fancied the change. And I've got to say, I will always love West Brom. It will have a special place in my heart, but Stafford is tons better. There's certain aspects about West Brom, mainly it being a dump. There's a lot of rubbish everywhere. The people are less than what's the right word to say? Perfect. Don't get me wrong, there's some lovely people in West Brom, but there's also others on the other end of the spectrum. And that's not to say that Stafford is paradise by any means, but I like the fact that it's a nice sized town, and 5 minutes away you've got nice countryside. You've got Cannock Chase, which is absolutely massive, lovely to go for walks, winter or summer. It's an absolutely beautiful place. But then on the other end, you're not too far from civilization because you're right on the M6, so a lot of networks, it's easy to access through that way. So I'm really happy about where I live. I've been married about a year, just over a year. It was a year in September, so we're settling in well. Of course, we probably had the worst year imaginable to have your first year of marriage, with everything that's gone on this year. And what can you say about this year? I've never known anything like it. I think it's just one of those years that you've just got to get through, and then when it's over, you just pack it in a box, chain it up, dig the biggest hole you can, throw it down, cover it up, and never speak about it ever again. That's what I'm going to do with this year once it's all over. there's no need to go into the ins and outs. We all know what's going on. I'm lucky to say that I haven't lost anyone directly involved in my family yet, but I know people who have, and my heart really goes out to them because they've not been able to have the funerals that those people deserved. And then I've known people who've got married and have only been able to have immediate family there, and you know, I do feel for them, I really do. But hopefully things will be on the up on the next year. As I said, we just got to get through it. Other than that, I don't know how all these other truck vloggers go on and talk about so much stuff. What do you talk about for so long? Well, yeah, I suppose with the job that I do, it's general haulage. That's one of our boys across the way there. He's on the pallet side of things, so he's probably doing drops in the local area. But yeah, it's the sort of work I do, general haulage. So those of you who are in the industry know that means anything and everything. As I've noticed in the months that I have been here, we've done a lot of work for the MOD and RAF, of course, which is Ministry of Defence, and sorry, I forget. Yeah, Royal Air Force. That's it. So that's been involving going to different bases, collecting various goods. Most of the things I've been collecting have been machinery, generators, things along that sort of nature. Just taking them, picking up from some bases and delivering to other bases to keep the supply chain going along with the army bases. So that's been pretty enjoyable work. Obviously, due to the sensitive nature of where I'll be going, I can't record inside the places unless I want a few rounds to the skull. Because they do have weapons on the gates, and I don't want to get on their bad side. You know, I'm black as it is, so not to say that we live in America, but I don't want to tempt anybody to test their accuracy. So yeah, but the work's easy enough. Not been anything too difficult. Just open up, strap it down, pick up from point A and take it to point B. Today I'll be picking up, so I'm going out empty to Anglesey, picking up 13 pallets and taking them back to a place called Froggle, which is in Cheadle, which is in the northeast of Stoke. So should be a nice simple day today, and that's why I've decided to start my first vlog, as it's a nice easy drive up, and lockdown is over, but everyone's still in tier 3, so the roads should be quieter. It wasn't as quiet as the first lockdown, I've noticed. Yeah, it should be a nice easy drive. So I've waffled on long enough. I'm going to pause this now, and I'll catch up with you a bit later on in the journey. So oh hello, thanks for letting me go. So I've switched the camera around, and I'm hoping that this is now a better sort of look, and you can see more. I think it will come out better in the landscape. We are now in Wales. In Wales. Yeah, my accent's awful. Absolutely dreadful. So yeah, we're about an hour and 18 away. And yeah, here we are on the A55. Also had to stop to use the bathroom because I've got the bladder size of a 50p piece. Yeah. So yeah, got about an hour and 20 to go, and can't really afford any more stops now. But I've tried to adjust the framing to more landscape. So hopefully when this comes to editing, uploading, it should come across a lot better. I've still got the camera mount in the corner of the screen. There's no way I can get rid of that, sorry. As I said, when I get the GoPro, you should be able to just see all of the windscreen without any of the equipment getting in the way. But this is really just a stopgap, just for me to use at the moment, because I didn't really want to wait to start doing these vlogs. You know, everyone's going to start somewhere with a YouTube channel, so I'm not going to have the highest quality, you know, introductions, you know, cutaways. It's not going to be the best editing in the world. A lot of this is just going to be unedited, just uploads from the camera phone itself. So don't expect the editing and the quality of a channel with, you know, 10k plus subscribers who've got the time to edit really good stuff. I'm sure I'll get to that eventually, but at the moment it is just going to be a lot of raw footage. Well, I'm sure you won't mind. But yeah, it is a really nice route this now, so I am going to attempt a time lapse of the best bits. And oh dear, I'm not sure if the camera picked up on that, but there was a smash car. Don't know if he's done that. But yeah, hopefully the time lapse will highlight some of the best bits of this journey, because as soon as you get into the borderline before you enter into Anglesey, some of the views are absolutely spectacular. Which is why I was so excited to get a vlog in to really show you to the best of my ability with the technology that I have, just how nice this neck of the woods is. So that's the plan, and what I'll do is that, as I say, I'll do a time lapse, and when I'm about 10 minutes out from where my destination is, I will start recording again. And just gotta wait for this car to come past and overtake this guy. He's only in an axle. He's gonna struggle in the hills later. He's flashed me back in. Cheers, mate. Don't know if you can hear that, but the trucks that we have here are how's the best way to describe it? A FORS accredited, FORS. Basically what that means is that that stands for Fleet Operator Recognition Scheme, and it's something that companies can voluntarily join in. It's basically holding a company's standards to a certain level, and what those standards involve is making sure that the company is keeping up to the latest releases of safety standards, and in turn companies who, I suppose the easiest way to explain, certain companies are looking for a certain standard of safety an operator should have before they'll feel comfortable enough to use them for their transportation services. And some of those standards, in particular for companies in the London areas, because London just seems to have laws separate to everywhere else, is that safety standards in the vehicle need to be at a certain standard. I've said standard so many times. Shot there. Take a shot every time I said the word standard. So what those are, some of those are that there needs to be cameras all around the vehicle, in particular blind spots in the rear of the vehicle. So when the vehicle's reversing, the driver can see from the cockpit what's behind him. The driver can also see what is his blind spot. And another one of those is for an automated message to call out so much nowadays because a lot of cyclists are more aware. But there was a period of time a few years ago where there were so many fatal accidents because cyclists were undertaking trucks on the left-hand side, and of course, obviously, the driver sat on the right-hand side of the vehicle, so there's a clear blind spot on the left. So a cyclist, perhaps in traffic, would come in on the left-hand side and undercut the truck, and a lot of the times the truck driver wouldn't see it because, as I said, that's what a blind spot is. You can't see them. The driver would hook his vehicle to the left and kill the cyclist. So in order to prevent that from happening, there's now on this truck anyway, and pretty much for the most of our fleet, they're now automated messages that switch on to say warning the vehicle's about to turn left, to warn pedestrians and warn cyclists that unless you want to get crushed, stay clear and don't undertake. I actually think it's a very good idea. The only problem is that you can't turn it off. So there's been times where I've been driving late at night and I've been through an urban area, not housing estates, but roads with houses on either side, and most of the time when people are asleep, when I've come to take a corner, I've probably woke the whole street up by saying, warning, this vehicle is about to turn left, doo-doo, and there's no way of turning it off. So I do feel for the people who have to hear that sometimes whenever I'm driving in the evening, but I don't do a lot of late nights. I might do the occasional night out, but the night sets aren't too common in this job, which suits me to a T because I'm not one of these guys who can be sleeping in the truck weeks at a time. I don't know how some guys do it. I prefer my own bed and I prefer being home with family, being home with my wife. So yeah. But anyway, I've gone on longer than expected, so I'll catch you in a bit.
Another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it. But you're so right, we're losing track of time, buying things online, and it's not like we need them. We don't need them. So can we just slow down? The only thing I'll do is lay here next to you. We need to slow down, embrace the love we found. For you and I were safe and sound. We were on the run, rocking around the clock. Now all we need is right here in front of us.
Hello again. So we are only a couple of minutes away from getting where we need to be, which is RAF Valley. So hopefully, as I mentioned earlier, we are running a bit late. Basically, I had an optician's appointment this morning, which work did know about, so I didn't get into work till 10 o'clock this morning. And the collection I was supposed to be doing out here was supposed to be before 12, so so just hoping that they'll still offload me when I get here. Well, load me. Otherwise it's going to be a mighty wasted journey coming all the way from Stoke for so we'll see what happens. According to the signpost, it should be turning for it. Should just be anywhere on this road. So I mean, we've made good time. We've done it. You know, I had a fresh drive when I left, and we're at 2 hours 34. So just over 2.5 hours to get to where we need to be. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Thank you. And hopefully this truck in the distance will have seen me. Yep, he has. God, it ain't half different round here. So where are you? Where are you? That is the question. Recalculate. Ah, you don't need to recalculate anything. Cancel it. Apparently this place is massive, so should be approaching it soon, as long as I'm not blind. What's this? That could be the way in I want. It is. I hope it is. Let's see. Oh, that's a big bump. I don't think this is it. No. Let me back. So I'm going to turn left and places there's a main entrance point called the guard room. By the main entrance, that's where you need to report into. I have tried giving them a call, but no answer as of yet. I think I can see it in the distance there. Yeah, I think we're approaching it. Yeah. RAF Valley. Yeah, here we are. Cool, look at this place. So we'll turn down here. And would you look at that? Mr. Hawkins from Cannock. You come all the way to Anglesey and your neighbours around here. park for now, and I'll see you all in a bizzle. Peace. So that's us all done. We're all loaded. Didn't take that long at all. And the guys there are sound, actually. Got us pulled straight in. There was 13 pallets in total. So loaded it through the back doors. It's the easiest way. No point getting all the curtains open in the rain. And done me a cup of tea as well, to take on the journey back with me. So I'm a happy bunny. It's a bit weighty. Can feel the difference now. Don't know how much weight it all is, but probably around about 6 or 7 ton. This will take 10 when I drive, so I'm not overweight by any means. Well, not the truck anyway. Me myself, I could do it losing weight. Yeah, but no, that's as easy as it gets, really. Straight in, they know who you are, they're expecting you, got your details. Right, open up, get it on, get going. So now back to Staffordshire, which I estimate should take me, it's going to be about 5 o'clock-ish, 5:30 before I'm back. I've got an hour's 44. Well, I've got up till 4 o'clock. I can drive, whichever one comes first. Probably 4 o'clock before I'll have to pull over and have a break. I snuck in 15 minutes while I made myself a tea, so I'll only have to stop for half an hour. So that's not too bad. Apparently the place I have to drop them off to is supposed to be there at 4 o'clock, which just is not happening. So I don't quite know what's going to happen yet, whether I'm still told to go there and try my luck, or whether I just take it back to the yard and drop it off in the morning. I'll wait for work to give me a call, or I'll give them a call in about an hour or two and see what the plan of action is. But yeah, I think today has been a really good day to do my first sort of vlog. Not too intensive of a day. Nice open roads, quiet roads, beautiful surroundings. It's really, this is the good half of driving. Not all days are like this. You can ask any driver. You may have days where it just goes swimmingly, but then other days where you've just got your head in your hand and you're thinking, what the hell's going on here? Lady's waited. Thank you. Yeah. Anglesey is a beautiful little village. What am I saying? Has beautiful villages. You can just tell by the houses and just the views that you're in a different neck of the woods to where I'd normally be. And it's just great that I'm able to go to places like this and get paid for it. I tried the office life. I spent a good 5 years, not long from I left school. I started a modern apprenticeship in business admin, working for a transport company called Gondrand over in West Bromwich. Not very well known, but they do a lot of freight forwarding, which is basically, think of it as brokers between different hauliers and businesses. So we'd get Gondrand would get the business contracts from businesses who need to import and export their cargo, and then on the other end they get in touch with all the drivers and all the transport companies that are looking for loads to get to where they need to go. A lot of it was European, some of it worldwide as well. But yeah, I spent 5 years in transport environments. Let's just make sure I was going the wrong way then. Going the right way, here I am. Heading to Bangor. That's where I want to be. So yeah, I spent quite a lot of time in that sort of environment, and I sort of fell out of love with the office aspect, but being in and around transport and trucks, drivers in general, that's where I developed a love for it. kind of sprouted onwards since then. So I won't be cheeky and flash him in, as long as he don't pull me in. He's probably checking me out though. Well, I'm doing nothing wrong. I should only be nervous if I've got something to hide, which I don't. So yeah, that's where I got the bug for it, and I've not turned back since. I've been in some jobs which ain't been too great. I think what you'll find is that when you pass your test, for a HGV, the problem is that for the decent jobs, companies want experience, and you have to scratch your head and ask yourself, well, how can I get experience unless somebody takes me on? It's the age-old question which everyone's struggled with at some point. So unfortunately, you have to go for the jobs which aren't so great, and that includes some places where they do take advantage of the fact that no one else will employ you and have you work horrible hours and work you like a dog as well, in terms of how much work they give you. I think a lot of food transport companies in particular, I'm not mentioning names because that's not what I'm about, but I can think of a few places where they'll have you working 13, 14 hour days and the pay is just not worth the sacrifice, I don't think. Yeah. But if you strike it lucky, like I did, I only had to endure a couple of months before I found a transport company that took me on, even though I only had about 3 or 4 months experience behind the wheel, and that was McGill Transport. They've got depots over one in Birmingham, which I worked at, which is near West Bromwich Albion's ground. One depots in Bristol, High Wycombe, and one in Manchester as well. So they cover quite a lot of the country. And they took me on. Obviously, they assessed me for a bit. The guy had on a drive with one of their assessors to see if I was up to scratch, and they offered me the job, and I spent a good 2.5 years there, and that's really where I learned to apply my trade as a driver. Had a few bumps and scrapes, which you do, because you're new to it, you make mistakes, you misjudge things. There's no driver on this planet who's been doing truck driving for years who can say that they've not had a near miss or had a scrape. Some have had a lot worse, but that's what getting experience means. To the point now where I feel quite experienced in Class 2, and that's why I'm decided to make the move to Class 1. There's more scope of work in Class 1. There's more work available in Class 1, not that I'm looking to move, but so many jobs listed for Class 1 work. And yeah, I feel that it's just a natural progression of where I want to be going. So that's what I hope to do. And yeah, that's the goal. So yeah, we're just going to carry on. I'm not going to keep on recording because it's just going to be mile after mile of just this sort of road, and I've done a time lapse of the route on the way in. To a degree, the camera doesn't do it justice, unfortunately. Like, the view is absolutely breathtaking. Honestly, it's so beautiful. But I've already recorded that, so there's no need to do it again. And yeah, I am going to stop recording, and I'll catch up with you when I've pulled over from a break. Peace. So, good evening. I'm just having a half an hour break and pulled over, still on, well, just starting on the M50, just before the start of the M56. Starting to go dark, as you can see. Been in touch with work, and what they're saying is just head back to the yard, because it doesn't look like the place I need to drop off at is going to be done in time, or will be closed by the time I get there. They'll be done and gone. So probably just going to drop off there tomorrow morning before I start my next day's work, which is fine with me. So it's just on the way back to the yard for me. As you can see, I'm parked behind this old Stobart's trailer, and I have an inkling, don't ask me where I've got this from, but I just have a feeling that trailer is on rental from Amazon. I can't put a finger on why I know that, I just have a feeling. How strange. Thought as I'm here, I'll just give you a quick sort of tour of my office, because no one ever says that, do they? So it is a man, as you can see, not a literal man, because that would be weird. An MAN, German engineered, MAN TGS. Don't ask me what the horsepower is, it's alright. It's quite spacious, this, not gonna lie, for what it is, for an 18 tonner. And as you can see, on the passenger seat, I've got my team's colours, West Bromwich Albion. So people know from afar that I'm an absolute idiot with no hope in life. That's me, you can see there. And yeah, this place is this truck's got quite a bit of storage, actually, quite good. Good to do nights out. Let me just turn that off. Oh, we have to keep it on. So here's the overhead lockers. There's 2 overhead lockers here. That's where I keep wet stuff, hard hats as well. And that one is where I keep cleaning belongings, but it's just, you can just see a big massive plastic bag there. That's no good. And here is the back, and as you can see, I absolutely love my bedding. It is child's bedding, but child's bedding fits perfectly for a single bunk in the back. And also there's a hammock which you can use for a second bed, but I'm not going to use it. So yeah, that's a better view, wide angle, so you can see it a lot. So it's a decent sized living quarters to do the odd night out in. And yeah, that was just a brief one. So going to be heading back to the yard. I'm probably going to end the video there, because it's just going to be motorway miles and me just parking up and going home. But if you've made it this far, then thank you so much, because I imagine most probably would have clicked off ages ago. This is my first video. I'm hoping to make it more of a regular thing. I'm not going to be vlogging every day, because being honest, that will get very boring and very tedious to be recording every single aspect, especially if the days aren't too exciting either. If it's just, you know, going down to City A to drop off and come back, then that's not really exciting in terms of entertainment, because that's what this is at the end of the day. It's education and it's entertainment. So I will select, I'm hoping to make it on a weekly basis, and it might be the case of that I just roll 2 or 3, 4 days worth of work into one smaller video. The videos aren't going to be as long as this. I think the video is as long as it is because it's my first one, and it's more of an introduction to what I'm planning on doing with the channel. And yeah, we go onwards and we go upwards. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to share this with others, should you want to, and should you want to watch more of my videos, then I would appreciate the support in form of subscription. Feel free to subscribe. I can't even get my words out. Feel free to subscribe. As I said, I'm going to try and make it a goal of weekly uploads and make them good quality. I'm not going to spam in hopes I get more clicks. I want this to be a good channel and maintain a good standard of quality and respect. I'm not going to try and flood it with adverts neither. I just want to make a nice, genuine trucking channel. Almost swore again. It sounds like I'm proper cussing out when I say that. But yeah, thank you so much, and see you next time.